My name is Vasantha. I was born in a small village. I studied my primary education in my village. Then I was put in a hostel in Madurai, one of the famous Christian school, OCPM. I did my schooling there, and then I had my graduation in one of the colleges, ladies' colleges in Madurai called Lady Doak College. After finishing my graduation in economics, I joined in Annamalai University, Chidambaram to do my PG in economics. After finishing economics, I joined ASSEFA in 1978 through one of my friends of my father. At that time, Gandhi Peace Foundation in Delhi, the responsible person, Mr. Krishna Swami, he selected the youth, unemployed youth, and put them in the different rural development organization. And he selected me and he put me in ASSEFA in 1978. I joined ASSEFA in February 1st, 1978. At that time, ASSEFA was involving in Bhutan land development. So at that time, I didn't know anything about Bhutan land and development, Sarvodaya and all. So I was directed to visit all the Bhutan lands and to know what is going on in ASSEFA. So I visited different places, and I went to one of the biggest project in Erode district called Badugapatti, where there was 786 land donated by the local landlord called Sakkarai Mandradiyar. It was distributed to the landless poor as 2.5 acres per family. So that allottees, that beneficiaries, they started developing the land. The first phase, it was selected 150 acres. They started working in that land. So I went there with my colleague Mr. Murugappa, who was working there. Then we both were visiting the projects and try to understand the project, what is going on, what is Bhutan, what are the allottees, what is their benefits and all these things. At that time, it was full of stones and pebbles. So the land was had to reclaimed. So the beneficiaries, they reclaimed the land by collecting and picking the stones and pebbles. So they were all working in the land in the hot sun. Their children are scattered all around, and they were with them without the dress, with the running nose, some children crying, and under the hot sun. So the parents had to take the children with them, as there was no one to take care of them in the house. So I felt something, why these children are here under the hot sun, why these parents had brought them in the land. Then I asked them, they said, what can we do? We have to work, we have to earn something for our livelihood. At the same time, no one is at home to take care of the children. So we have to bring the children with them.
நம்ம 2 நாளைக்கு முன்னாடி இந்த ஊருக்கு வந்தோம் இல்லைங்கண்ணா, இந்த பூமிதான இயக்கத்தில் நிலம்லாம் கொடுத்தாங்கல்ல. நம்ம போகும்போது என்ன பார்த்தோம், பிள்ளைங்கெல்லாம் ட்ரெஸ் இல்லாமல் டவுசர் போட்டுக்கிட்டு அழுக்கா விளையாண்டுக்கிட்டு அடிச்சுக்கிட்டு ட்ரெஸ் இல்லாமல் ஒரு படிப்பு இல்லாமல் இது இல்லாமல் தெரிஞ்சதை நான் அண்ணாச்சிட்ட பேசினேங்கண்ணா. அங்கே நீ உனக்கு என்ன தோணுதோ அதை செய்யன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்கண்ணா. நம்ம வினோப திட்டத்தை பற்றி பார்த்துருக்கோம்லண்ணா. அதில் இந்த கைப்பிடி அரிசி திட்டம் நம்ம பேசணும்ல, அதுக்கு தானே இந்த பானையை தயார் பண்ணிட்டு வந்திருக்கோம். இந்த ஊரில் ஒவ்வொரு வீட்டுக்காக போவோங்கண்ணா. உங்கள் பிள்ளைங்க குழந்தைகள் படிப்பறிவு இல்லாமல் இருக்காங்க, நாங்கள் படிப்பறிவு தரோம், ஆனால் நமக்கு மதிய உணவு போட தான் வசதி இல்லையங்கண்ணா. அதனால் அவங்க சாப்பிட்ற சாப்பாட்டில் ஒரு கைப்பிடி அரிசியை தினமும் பானையில் போட்டு வைக்க சொல்லுவோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பார்ப்போம், முயற்சி செய்வோங்கண்ணா. முயற்சி செய்வோம், அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம என்ன நடக்குதுன்னு பார்ப்போங்கண்ணா.
we both went to collect whatever they have. To our surprise, all the pots were full of rice. So we were very happy and thanks to God. And we collected rice and came back to the project and started the small school with 23 children. With the local collection and local contribution and donations. There was no teacher and no one is willing to come to as a teacher. So I had to stay there and worked as a teacher for a month, and I stayed there. And this rice was used to make rice kanchi, that's a porridge, with the small vegetables and all. We feed the children, and also I ate the same things also. And then slowly the parents came to understand everything. They were happy and they were also contributing something for the children. Initial stages I was alone, so I had to go to the villages alone. At that time there was no enough transport facilities, so I had to go by walk. Many a time I took the bullock cart or whatever facility available. Many a time we went around. So the people were not happy to receive me, because at that time I was young also. Then they have a surprise and suspicious also. Why this young lady is coming? What is wrong with her? Why her parents, her family allow her to come this kind of work? And many a time I was very much neglected, I can say. And very time I was irritated, ignored, and all the bad experience I have. But I have the strong mind, and so I took it as a challenge. And because I decided to start schools in every villages, so I had to face all this problem. So at that time I took it as a problem. Then when I experienced and when I got success in that aspects, and I forgot all these problems and teasers and everything. But I had a very good experience. If now when I think of many of the experiences, I am surprised how I bear all these challenges. But I managed, and I succeed all these challenges and solved the problems very easily. The children we collected all belong to the cobblers. So when we contacted many girls to come as a teacher, many didn't accept because of this caste problem. Because they have to deal with the cobblers' children, so are very untouchable and very lowest caste. It is as a very big difference from the caste Hindus and the lower caste untouchables. So this it was a very major problem to find out a girl or a boy to come as a teacher. Finally, we came to know that there is a girl who is looking for a job and who is physically challenged. So she didn't get married up to 28 years. So it was a big problem for her parents also. She belongs to which is a caste Hindus. So when we went and asked for the girl to come as a teacher, she was willing, but her parents were not happy to send her, because her daughter has to deal with the cobbler's children, so-called the untouchables. So the parents were very arrogant, and even they scolded us. They were not willing to send her. So we came back, but after 2 days we went again. We both went again. And we convinced the girl, because she can earn something, she can be independent, she can study also through correspondence, because she had finished at that only 8th standard. So I told her, you can study correspondence course and you can equip yourself. So I convinced her like that. So she was fully convinced. Then she convinced her parents, telling all these things. Somehow the old parents, they were little bit came down and asked me whether it is safe for her to stay in, because she has to stay in the project. Then I said, you believe me, I am also coming very often from Madurai. So far I am staying there, it is safe. Then only these parents were convinced, they allowed her to come and to stay in the project. So the first week, the very beginning, I was with her for a week. We both did all these jobs, and bathing the children and combing their hair and even wash their clothes. Sometimes they go to the toilet and something, we have to clean it up. So I was with her for a week again to do all these things and make her to be calm and quiet and all this. But initially she was also not happy because she has to do all this job. But somehow she managed to do. And then she was happy. She promised me that she will stay for as a teacher. Then I came to Madurai. Slowly the school was going on well. The alumni of the other Bhutan farms, when they knew that we have started a school in this project, they also want to have a school. When meanwhile we were looking for some financial help also, we found at Action Aid England. They were at that time doing the sponsorship program. So we contacted them and we started the primary school in all the 8 adjacent farms, and this school was also upgraded as a primary school. We joined other children, we admitted other children, but initially we had a mixed group because of some children had already dropped from the school, so we put them also in these schools. But initially we didn't have any syllabus, we don't have any books, nothing, no. And only thing is we had to attract all these children to come to school. So we spent any time with the songs, stories and games and other things. So slowly the children, they enjoyed schooling and started coming regularly. But we prepared the books, we prepared the syllabus. So we prepared a lot of teaching materials, and we there the different methodology also. And also at that time, since it was a mixed group, we cannot put in a standard wise, first standard, second standard. So we divided them into different groups. So each group will change according to the subject, because they were all in different age. So that is how it was running. But the parents were not happy because the teachers are not scolding the children, the teachers are dancing with the children, the teachers are playing with the children and all this. But somehow we managed, but the children were very happy and they were regular to school, and the school was running very successfully. And then some children, when they attain the age of 14, they have to write the private examination to enter into the mainstream. Then we collected all these children. We started a hostel here in that place, but they didn't know their date of birth, nothing, TC and anything. So we brought an astrologer and prepared the horoscope for each child to have a proof for the date of birth. And we make them to write the private exam, 8th standard exam, and they passed away. That is how then it tempted us to upgrade the schools. But meanwhile, after finishing the 5th standard, the children have to enter into the mainstream. For that, we have to go for the government recognition. Then we went for the government recognition. We got the government recognition. And even though now we follow the government syllabus, we have our own subjects like non-violence. We prepared the non-violence syllabus in 2000 and we prepared the books also. This enabled the children to have the Gandhian ideology and peace and non-violence. And the teachers were given a lot of training. Once we select the teachers, we give the orientation training for 12 days. It's a residential training. During this training, they know about the ASSEFA philosophy, ASSEFA structure, and the teaching methodology, and health and hygiene, and motivation, yoga and meditation, and preparation of teaching aids, and other activities also, art and craft and everything. So every teacher has to go under 40 days training every year. It's including orientation, they have to go for the subject trainings also. So our teachers, once they attend the orientation, we can select the teachers who can continue, who cannot. They themselves also decide, because it is a residential training. They have to start from 5 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock in the evening. We start with the Ramadan, then the yoga and meditation, and then they do for the different activities. And the evening they will have the cultural program and the review of the training and the day and everything. So it is a very hard days for them for 12 days. During this day, some teachers decide whether they can continue. If they are not happy, they can leave. And then we have the different schools and group it in the clusters. And each cluster has a program associate who is responsible for all these schools for the immediate problem solving and all this. They meet every month and discuss about the progress, syllabus, and what are the difficulties and what are the challenges they have, how to manage, and what are the solutions as such. So this way it was going on, and now we have different schools. Then meanwhile some parents asked for the English medium schools, matriculation school. Then we had started in some areas matriculation school. So now we have both Tamil medium and the English medium schools. Then we need our own teachers, because if we select teachers from the open market, it is difficult for them to stay in the village and to undergo our training, undergo our practices, and undergo the hardships in the villages and all these things. Then we went for started the B.Ed college, teaching education. So we have a B.Ed college also. It was started in the year 2009. So it is running. Every year we select 100 students, they pass, and prepare 100 teachers every year.